headed off. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to IGTV. We have with us this morning Craig Floyd from the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund. And as we've been kind of teasing throughout the day today, we have been talking about some of the statistics, Craig, quite frankly, and that 12% leap in fatalities is a big deal, throughout the system. Why don't you get into the 2011 year-end wrap-up?
Well, the good news is that we are seeing a decline in deaths as we near the end of the year. I think the last time we spoke, Joe, we had roughly about a 20% increase in fatalities for the year. Now it's dipped down to about a 12% increase over the same time last year. We're also seeing a substantial drop over the last month anyway in the number of firearms-related deaths for law enforcement. I think last time we spoke, firearms-related deaths were up somewhere around 25 to 30% over the same period last year. Now we're seeing that number up just 12%. So at least here toward the end of the year, the deaths seem to be on the decline. I'd like to think that's because of the great amount of attention being focused on the issue. Hopefully officers taking a more cautious approach to seemingly benign situations. Don't want officers ever to become complacent. We're also seeing one more troubling trend continue, and that is that traffic-related fatalities, it looks like for the 14th year in a row, will outpace firearms-related deaths among officers. So there we continue to have a problem in that traffic-related fatalities need to get more attention. Traffic safety for our officers has been one of those hot button issues that we've been pushing for a long time. A lot of others have certainly partnered with us in that effort. The FBI, Uniform Crime Report Office, the International Association of Chiefs of Police, the National Sheriff's Association, California Post, just to name a few that are really pushing hard in the area of traffic safety and trying to find answers to this very serious problem. A little bit of good news in that the number of traffic-related deaths total 60 so far this year, but last year at this time they were at 68. So that is a 12% decline compared to the same period last year. So we're seeing a slight dip in traffic-related fatalities this year. And again, I'd like to think that maybe it's because we're focusing so much public attention on the issue. I know we just recently received a grant from the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration for $100,000 to be able to focus on traffic safety related issues, to continue our work in that area, to have more community outreach, especially getting important messaging out to the law enforcement community. So we're going to continue to partner with NHTSA to make sure that it's safer for officers behind the wheels of their cars. Overall, we'll be issuing our end-of-the-year fatality report, wrapping up all these numbers toward the end of the year. We always put out those figures the week between Christmas and New Year. We'll be doing that again this year on December 28th, actually. Our official end-of-the-year fatality report will be disseminated publicly, and hopefully the numbers will continue to be on the decline. So maybe by the end of the year, we won't be too far ahead of last year's pace, but it's troubling news, but I want to report that we're already above last year's total. Last year we had a total of 152 law enforcement officers killed in the line of duty. This year we're already up to 160 based on preliminary information. So the numbers are going to be higher one way or another.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that area. It's good to see that the traffic-related deaths are down, but I think that move over and slow down campaign needs more attention and more PSAs to get out into the industry, so that the regular citizens out there really understand what it is they should be doing. And of course, up here in New York, it needs to be bilingual as well. All right, we've got 118 different languages spoken up here. So it's quite a challenge, getting that message out there.
No question. And we had a recent poll that we saw showing that still more than 70% of Americans do not know anything about the move over and slow down law that's on the books in 49 of the 50 states. Only Hawaii and the District of Columbia do not have move over and slow down laws. And we're hopeful that soon it'll be all 50 states and the District of Columbia. But the point is, when you see that emergency vehicle on the side of the roadway, whether it be a law enforcement vehicle, an emergency medical vehicle, you are required by law to move over a lane if you have that option. But always slow down when you come upon that emergency vehicle on the side of the roadway. It's the law of the land. It's designed to save the lives of public safety professionals who are out there putting themselves at risk for our safety, our protection. It's the least we can do to help keep them safe. On average, 16 officers are struck and killed every year while outside of their vehicles, and that doesn't even include the officers who are rear-ended while sitting in their vehicles by drunken or drowsy drivers, inattentive drivers who somehow are almost drawn like a magnet to that flashing light that they see on the side of the road. And oftentimes our officers are rear-ended, and sometimes the vehicles are engulfed in flames, and those officers do not survive.
All right, Craig Floyd from the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund will be back with you in just 1 minute. We're going to break off to a commercial, and we'll be back to talk about the combined federal campaign in just 1 second.